Alam nyo ba na merong building sa London na kayang tumunaw ng sasakyan?
Wait a minute!
Kung gusto mong malaman at ano ang relation nito sa topic natin for today, keep on watching. Good day everyone, it's me, Sir John. We're done with the first type of the conic section, which is the circle. And if you haven't watched that, please do check the link in the description box para mas ma-appreciate mo ang ating topic ngayon, which is the parabola. And this will be the second type of the conic sections. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to first define what is parabola, illustrate the properties of parabola, and determine the vertex, focus, equation of the directrix, and the axis of symmetry of a parabola. Without further ado, let's begin. Welcome to our class. This is pre-calculus for senior high school, and our topic for today is all about parabola and its properties. Well, parabola is not a new concept because it was already introduced to you way back grade 9 sa topic ninyo for quadratic functions. 'Di ba? Yung mga graphs nyo doon are U-shaped, either open upwards or downwards. Pero sa parabola under conics, we will also consider a graph that is open to the left or to the right. We know that a parabola is created whenever the plane intersects the cone parallel to its sides to form an unbounded curve. And alam natin na parabola ang isang equation if masatisfy niya ang condition na a is equal to 0 or c is equal to 0. A parabola is a set of all points q and its coordinates is x and y in the plane at equal distance from a fixed point called the focus or in symbol f and a fixed line called directrix or in symbol d. Emphasize lang natin, focus is a fixed point, yung fixed line naman is directrix. And yung distance nila to a point on the parabola is equal. So kahit saang point sa graph ang kuhanin natin, they will always be equal. This one symbolizes that the lines or their distance is the same. I hope that is clear. The line that passes through and perpendicular to the directrix is what we call the axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry intersects the parabola at a certain point called the vertex or in symbol v with the coordinates of h and k. Take note, vertex is the midpoint from the focus to the directrix. P naman is the focal distance from the focus to the vertex. And syempre, same lang din yung distance from the vertex to the directrix. Okay? And of course, we have the focus, which is a point on the axis of symmetry. Again, we have the vertex, the focal distance, and the focus. We will only accept parabolas where d or the directrix is horizontal or vertical to the axis. Now, let's talk about the equation of parabola. Again, the equation represents a parabola if and only if a is equal to 0 or c is equal to 0. Since we have to consider a parabola that is open upwards or downwards, also opens to the left or to the right. So we have different standard and general equations for them, kaya listen carefully. Dito muna tayo. If the graph opens upward or downward, the standard equation will be x minus h squared is equal to 4p times the quantity of y minus k. And yung properties niya ay, for the vertex, we have v, h, and k. For the focus, we have f, h, k, plus p. Kung mapapansin niyo sa coordinates ng focus, nag-add tayo ng p sa k. To illustrate, heto yon. And the equation of the directrix, we have y is equal to k minus p. And axis of symmetry, we have x is equal to h. Later on, magbibigay tayo ng example for this. Therefore, yung general equation nito is ax squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Tandaan ninyo, if yung exponent na 2 ay nasa x, the graph will be open upwards or downwards. At ang magdedetermine ng kanyang opening is yung value ng ating focal distance or yung p. Siyempre, if that is positive, upwards. Kung negative naman, downwards yung graph ng ating parabola. On the other hand, if the graph opens to the left or to the right, the standard equation will be y minus k squared is equal to 4p times the quantity of x minus h. Huwag kayong palilito, laging kasama ni y si k, si x, si h. Okay? Yung properties naman nito ay v, h and k, f, h plus p, k. Kanina, pataas and pababa ang motion ng focus, kaya nag-add tayo ng p sa k. Dito naman, since sideways yung motion ng focus natin, so ang mag-change ng value ay si h. Okay? Kaya nag-add tayo ng p doon sa h. I hope that is clear. And for the equation of the directrix, we have x is equal to h minus p. And the axis of symmetry will be y is equal to k. Therefore, the general equation is cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Kagaya doon sa kanina, if yung exponent na 2 ay nasa y naman, therefore, ang opening niya ay left or right. Dapat maging familiar kayo dito sa mga properties ng ating parabola because they vary depending on its graph. Let's have the first example. Find the general equation of the parabola with vertex at -1 and -3 and focus at -1 and 2. We're looking for the general equation here. If the given are points, pwedeng i-graph muna natin siya to determine ang opening nito. So here is the graph. By the way, I used the Desmos graphing calculator para sa example natin na to. The red point is the vertex and the blue is the focus. Again, the distance from the vertex to the focus is what we call the focal distance or in symbol P. We can use the distance formula to obtain this, pero medyo mahabang proseso yon. So pwede naman na isubtract natin ang y sa k kasi vertical naman ang ating axis of symmetry. Therefore, we have 2 minus -3. And that is simply like 2 plus 3. So therefore, yung ating focal distance ngayon ay 5. Okay? Pwede din naman na through counting, we will count from the vertex to the focus. So upwards tayo. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And since upwards yung movement, positive 5 ang focal distance. Okay? So we have 3 ways on how to determine the focal distance. Using the distance formula or subtracting y to k kapag vertical yung axis of symmetry, pero kapag horizontal yung axis of symmetry, we will use x minus h. Okay? And through counting. Remember na ang opening ng graph ay depende sa kung saan yung focus. Therefore, the parabola is open upwards. Okay? Since open upwards tayo, we will use these properties of a parabola. Ngayon, determine natin ang standard equation using this formula. X minus h squared is equal to 4p times the quantity of y minus k. Identify natin ang mga given. Again, the value of h is equal to -1, k is equal to -3, p is equal to 5. That is the focal distance na kinuha natin kanina. Then, substitute na natin sa equation, we have x minus -1 squared is equal to 4 times 5 times the quantity of y minus -3. Now, i-simplify natin, x minus negative 1 squared will be like x plus 1 squared. Okay? That is equal to 4 times 5, which is 20, and y minus negative 3 is simply y plus 3. And this is the standard equation of the parabola. Moving on to its properties, the vertex is given, that is negative 1 and negative 3. Also for the focus, we have negative 1 and 2. And to know the equation of the directrix, the equation is y is equal to k minus p. So again, substitute lang natin yung mga given. Y is equal to negative 3 minus 5, which is equal to negative 8. Therefore, the directrix is that y is equal to negative 8. For the axis of symmetry, that is the value of h itself. Therefore, x is equal to negative 1. Yung pinakamahalagang values na kailangan lang nating i-identify is the value of h, value of k, and the focal distance. To transform a standard equation to general equation, expand natin yung nasa loob ng parenthesis, we get x squared plus 2x plus 1. And distribute natin ang 20 sa loob ng parenthesis, we get 20 times y, that is equal to 20y, and 20 times 3, that is equal to 60. Kaya we get 20y plus 60. Remove natin ang parenthesis and transpose natin lahat ng terms na nasa right side to the left side of the equation. We have x squared plus 2x plus 1 minus 20y minus 60 is equal to 0. Now, arrange natin according to their exponents and variables kagaya ng ginagawa natin doon sa circle. We have x squared plus 2x minus 20y plus 1 minus 60 is equal to 0. Combine like terms, ang pwede lang naman pagsamahin ay ang 1 at ang negative 60. The rest hindi na sila pwedeng i-combine. We get x squared plus 2x minus 20y minus 59 is equal to 0. And that is the general equation of the circle given its vertex and the focus. Okay? Ang unang kailangan nating i-consider kapag ka mga points ang given, hanapin muna ang standard equation. So from the standard equation, we're now able to find the general equation. For the next example, given the equation of the parabola that is x squared plus 6x plus 12y plus 15 is equal to 0. We are asked to write the equation into standard form, then B, find the vertex, focus, equation of the directrix, and the axis of symmetry. Then for letter C, sketch the graph. Okay, basically alam natin na either open upwards or downwards ito kasi ang exponent na 2 ay nasa x. Let's proceed in finding the standard equation. We will use the completing the square method here. Okay? First, rewrite the given equation that is x squared plus 6x plus 12y plus 15 is equal to 0. Second, isolate natin dito sa left side lahat ng may variable na x. Then the rest, transpose natin to the other side of the equation. We get x squared plus 6x. That is equal to negative 12y minus 15. Take note, kung anong variable ang may exponent na 2, sila yung iiwan natin sa left. That's why dito sa ating example, ang naiwan sa left side ay ang x squared plus 6x. Third, in this part, mag-provide na tayo ng spaces for the left and right side of the equation to make it balance. We have x squared plus 6x plus blank is equal to negative 12y minus 15 plus blank. Fourth, dito na natin i-divide by 2 ang linear term for the x only. Since that is 6, so divided by 2, we get 3 squared, which is equal to 9. Ang 9 na yon ang ilalagay natin sa mga spaces na pinrovide natin kanina. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to negative 12 minus 15 plus 9. Fifth, yung x squared plus 6x plus 9 is a perfect square trinomial which can be rewritten as x plus 3 squared. That is equal to negative 12y, and then yung negative 15 plus 9 is equal to negative 6. Lastly, i-factor out natin ang numerical coefficient ng y, which is negative 12. So, negative 12y divided by negative 12, that is equal to y. And negative 6 divided by negative 12, that is equal to positive 1 half. Pwede din naman kahit i-transform nyo ito into decimal number. But in this case, fraction na muna ang gagamitin natin. We have x plus 3 squared is equal to negative 12 times the quantity of y plus 1 half. And this is the standard equation of parabola. We're done with the first question. Now, we have to find the vertex, focus, equation of the directrix, and the axis of symmetry gamit ang standard equation. As you can see for the standard equation, meron tayong constant na 4. So, para makuha ang p, kailangan natin yung i-factor out by dividing the negative 12 by 4, which is equal to negative 3. Now, we have x plus 3 squared is equal to 4 times negative 3 times the quantity of y plus 1 half. Kung mapapansin ninyo na ang focal distance natin ay negative, therefore, the parabola is open downwards. For its properties, gagamitin natin yung mga formula na to. So, for the vertex, of course, parang sa center ng circle, di ba kasama ni x ay si h, at yung y naman si k. Since sa standard equation ay positive 3 and positive 1 half, inverse natin ang sign nila, we get negative 3 and negative 1 half. For the focus, that is h and k plus p. Substitute natin ngayon ang mga given, we get f, negative 3 and negative 1 half plus negative 3. Simplify natin ito, we get f, that is negative 3 and negative 3 1 half. For the equation of the directrix, the formula is y is equal to k plus p. And substituting the given, again, y is equal to negative 1 half minus negative 3, which will be equal to y is equal to 2 and 1 half. For the axis of symmetry is the value of h itself. Therefore, x is equal to negative 3. For the graph, let's just use the Desmos graphing calculator. Input natin either the standard or the general equation, same lang naman sila ng graph. But I will use the given na lang, the general equation, then the coordinate of the vertex, tapos yung focus, then para sa directrix, the axis of symmetry, that is x is equal to negative 3. And you have the graph of the parabola. Pwede mo na itong screenshot, then attach sa activity mo. Totoo nga ba na may building na kayang tumunaw ng isang sasakyan? Normally, buildings are vertical. Pero yung building sa London ay kakaiba. Take a look at this. Heto yung normal na building, and heto naman yung building sa London na tinatawag nilang walkie-talkie. Kung mapapansin ninyo na curve yung shape niya, that is why kapag nasisinagan ito ng araw, yung ray of light will be reflected and focused in one focal point. Kaya kaya nitong tunawin ng isang bagay or kahit na tao pa yan kapag ikaw ay nasa focus. Another real-life application ng parabola is the flashlight. Simply because the bulb is placed at the focus of the parabolic mirror-like surface. Kapag ang bulb ay na-switched on, light is reflected in a beam of rays parallel to the axis of symmetry. This is what we call the reflection property. Actually, napakadaming application ng parabola in real life, like the design of your contact lenses, telescopes, automotive headlights, cable of the suspension bridges, satellite dishes, and many more. That concludes our discussion for today. Actually, part 1 pa lang yan. So for the next video, I will provide an example wherein yung parabola natin is open to the left or to the right. If you learned something, do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and i-hit mo na din yung notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga susunod pa nating videos about math. Again, this is Sir John. Have a great day everyone and thank you for listening.